Hello everyone. So I'm glad you're coming in, whether it's during the live, although I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'm not sure the live is going to work today, but I am going to get this out today to you because I promised it. So if you're doing the live, hello and welcome. If you're doing the replay, just put replay in the chat just so I know that you were actually in and taking advantage of the wonderful opportunity of the focus point that we're going to talk about today. So, okay, I'm your small business operations success coach, Leesa Peters, and I'm here to share with you some revamping 2020 strategies to help get your numbers up on Instagram. So, many of you have had a following for quite some time. If you've had experience with some downtime or not as many clicks that you're used to, it might be that time to revamp, and that's what this session is going to be all about. So I've been researching just a little bit about what you can do to increase your engagement because many things have changed in 2020. But don't worry, I'm here to help you get a hold on what you can do to increase your following and keep all those things monetized. Stay focused because I'm going to give you pointers that'll help you gain consistency, which will enable you to get into the front of your prospects much sooner rather than later. So again, thank you for being with me today. For those of you who are just coming in, my name is Leesa and I am your Operations Success Coach, and I'm here to talk about giving your Instagram that overall facelift. Because a few things have changed in 2020. And for one of those things that have changed are highlight covers. So let's talk about highlight covers in your IG account, your Instagram account. Highlight covers are fantastic. They're great. They're generally used as hotkeys for stories that have been saved by you or your followers. They give the reader a quick view into what your page is about and how you like to keep it organized. The categorical organization of pages is a fabulous idea. I'll give you a little bit more information on what I mean by that. However, the luster of how they've been made, how they've been viewed and used in the past seems to be pulling the curve a little bit downward. So I researched out what was working for some of the greats out there, and these are people, when I say greats, I'm always talking about people who range from 100K in followers to over 1 million followers. So if you look at these three figures, the three figures shown, you have the top, which is in pink, right? You have the dumbbell, the lips, the airplane, and the hanger. What do you see? And if you're looking at the bottom, events, coffee, and it looks like it says Rico's. I'm going to assume that they mean something that has to do with rewards, since it looks like there's a little trophy sitting there. But what are the things that you see that are similar between the top and the bottom, and how they differentiate between the one in the middle? The top and the bottom both are patterned. They both have colors in them. They're either using white or black for their icons. The middle picture shows a product, right? It's more of a product picture, which is resonating from the perspective of a visual picture of something tangible, something that you can touch, something that's real. So one of the things in 2020 that I'm going to talk more about as we go forward is the decline of black and white outline pics when used in reference to the highlight covers in your IG account, and how they're traded up for more views to more personal highlight stories, which are the pictures of real products, real life experiences, instead of the general pictures. So in the middle, you're going to notice something that's more of a real tangible picture, right? They're showing food. Maybe they're talking about storage of food. So their categories are here could be categorized into those different arenas. They might be talking about storage of physical things, storage of food, storage of vegetables, something like that. But what you're seeing is that one, it's very, very colorful. It's not so black and white. It's real, it's tangible, and people are gravitating towards something like that. Not to say that these other things aren't still working for people. It's just that the ones that are getting the most hits right now in 2020 are more tangible, more hands-on, something that you can see more directly. Let's go on to the next slide. So, organizing your Instagram stories. So this is all kind of part of the same positioning that I'm showing you. So how you present your story is so important. The flexibility, the variation, all those things seem to be really winning moving forward. And we're going to talk more about variation. So branded colors, framework, puzzle templates, those things are all still very great. However, the authentic day in the life captions, pictures, and videos seem to be getting a few more clicks than they were in the past, at least talking about 2019 numbers. When we're looking at 2020 numbers, the numbers tend to scale down shortly in favor of something more like what you're seeing on the screen right now. So what does it all mean? So here I put pics in from one very influential person who's going to remain nameless for the moment. But this person has over 1 million followers. This person is a traveling photographer who has captivating pictures that usually show a type of landscape visual. And if you're noticing what's happening here, he's used a combination of different variations for the landscape visual. We have puzzles here. If you look towards the top, the scaling of the picture is a little bit different. The bottom has a lot of variation with the reds and the yellows in the picture. It's also scaled down, so it's not the same dimensions as the puzzle picture. And then let's go over to the next page just for a moment, where we're going to look at a few different pictures. So you're going to see patterns, either like if you look out on the right side and you see the flower, you're seeing how the patterns are the same. They're really close together. Within their Instagram account, it's actually telling its own story, right? It's all about the picture of the flowers. The picture above it to the left is showing how to make magic happen. So we have things that you can see, the branded colors that are pink. There's probably some purples in there and some yellows, variation of different types of pictures, but you can already sort of see the pattern of how they're doing it. So there's words on the lower left, and then on the upper middle, and then again in the lower right. And that's pretty consistent with a lot of different Instagram pages that you'll see. And it's perfectly fine to use that pattern. These patterns still get a lot of views. They make their point. Your followers will then follow the formatting and expect to see that formatting, as well as the one on the bottom. So the bottom is just, a regular photographer. They're not really telling a story, but they are putting in a lot of different visual pictures, a lot of action pictures that annotate traveling. All very good. But what if you could put all those things together? So let's get back to our Instagram stories just for a moment. So what if you could put all those things together? So again, what I just showed you is a bunch of patterns, right? The difference is the one on the top had a lot of combination of a lot of combination of shapes and puzzles, and that mixed philosophy, the mixed philosophy that we have on this page right here is what's getting more exposure, and the reasoning is that people tend to prefer to see authentic life pictures. So while the other ones are also showing authentic life pictures, they're following a specific pattern, specific coloring sequence. And what people are saying now is that they want to see things jazzed up a little bit. They want to see those patterns. They want to see the sequence. They don't mind everything being categorized or put in a certain order, but every once in a while they like to see it mixed up. So it doesn't always have to be that way. So if you can do a combination of both patterns, which initially might draw the people in to see it, and they see those branded colors, they know you from those branded colors, they start resonating with them, with that person today. And the overall winner is the person who can basically mix it up and put a story together that brings the person to the event or to the timeline and then draws them in. So they can see the patterns, they can see the branding, but then they can also be drawn in from switching things up just a little bit. And oddly enough, people are really resonating to that right now and will moving forward. So let's talk about, you're hearing me talk about how it's, people are looking for authenticity. It's okay to be authentic, because actually superimposed, super themed, and super fake isn't really attracting the numbers it used to. So, don't be afraid to be yourself. Your followers already like you. They already trust you. They already want what you have to offer. That's why they're following you. They care about the hows and whys of what you do. So do it your way and be authentically you. It's totally okay to do that. Your customers want to see the real person, right? They want to see the real person in action doing whatever it is you do. So this makes them see and feel that their outlook is attainable, which is really important. If you tell a story about how you started with nothing, but you only show your would-be audience your shiny cars, the pics of you in your high-rise, they're wondering about the before. So they want to know where you came from before all this jumped off, the work it took you to get there, to get from the regular 9 to 5 to your 6 to 8 figures. That might have worked in the 80s and 90s, but it doesn't quite fly. It doesn't have the same effect on a generation that was basically born with the iPad in their hands to learn the alphabet and an iPhone gifted to them, right? It's just not the same feel. It's just not the same look and feel. So let's move on. Fun. Everybody likes fun, right? Everybody likes to mix it up, especially right now with everything that's going on. People need escape. So, over 1 million photos and videos are downloaded on Instagram daily. People want to see fun. They want to see it in all forms. It helps them to escape the negativity. It helps them to hope for better tomorrows. And seriously, fun is expected to top out the number of people actually viewing fun pictures at about 102 million users in 2020. So that's, it's a 5.4 increase since 2019. So Instagram's here to stay, and the escape, as it may be, the fun proves to be the escape that takes them away from the humdrum, the day-to-day, and it whisks them away, even if it's only for a few seconds. So it's okay to mix it up. Show them a funny pic, a limerick, a quote, an episode from your favorite current or popular show. It's a fine art when you can give people something to laugh at and bring in the similarities between you and them. So Instagram is the perfect platform for you to lead, to show what you know, and for you to teach your community. Have fun, the overall target of getting your business up off the ground and showing where it's going to go tomorrow. Most importantly, it shows that you're happy and you love what you do. And that's so important. Life should not always be taken so seriously, and paint the picture of what your life could be with less worry about what's not working. You're here to guide them and to lighten up the process along the way. So make sure, pop in those fun pictures. Every once in a while it's okay to pop in a fun picture or a joke, or that song or something that lightens up what you're doing, what you're promoting, what you're putting out there. So when we're doing that, a lot of time we're throwing in some captions, and it's really so important for us to keep it short and informative, because captions are the initial things that your viewer is going to see first when they come into your page on Instagram. So you want to keep it short and you want to keep it informative. Longer captions require an audience who is super fine and focused. You might be talking about a much older audience. So if your pics or videos answer questions in the caption, or they're titled about a possible answer to a possible problem that they might be having, creating that value will win over lengthy blurbs, because they serve a quick and informative problem solving purpose. So, speaking of keeping it short and informative, you need to know your audience. Your Instagram audience has an attention span of 3 to 10 seconds. That's right, I said 3 to 10, meaning you have about 8 seconds, give or take, to show and tell. So you really, really, really need to get it right the first time. So what are we at now? 6. Nobody likes a boring feed. Bringing in the fun. We talked about the patterns. We talked about mixing it up and the importance of mixing it up. Keep it fresh. Offer more than one way to keep your audience coming back for more. That's what this whole thing is about. You should have a library filled with ways to entice your followers. Add presentations, add video, add pictures. Remember, it's your authenticity they're coming to see. Don't let your audience down. This is your time to shine and show them your expertise in any number of ways. Short stories keep interest. Yes, they do. The average attention span of a millennial is a whopping 12 seconds. And for Gen Zers, that number is even more disappointing at the 8 seconds that we were talking about earlier, hence the 8 to 12 seconds. So since we've touched on the short attention span, I want to leave you with this. Short stories keep interest. Your goal is to eventually drive your audience to an offer that they won't be able to resist, because you'll be offering them an answer to a burning problem. Sometimes they don't even know they have the problem or an issue that needs resolving until they see your page. So reel them in with intoxicating titles, visuals, infographics, and just the beginning of a presentation. You don't want to give them everything right off the bat, right? You want to invite them to participate in your group, participate in a website, or participate in that landing page that offers the freebie that's going to get them on a mailing list. And we'll talk more about that later. So this is your moment. Stop procrastinating and letting your old Instagram account represent you. Make some changes, make sure it's fresh, pull in some new visuals, some new bodies, some new followers. And let's mix it up. Instagram has a wonderful feature that lets you go live. They're owned by Facebook, so they also have a go live part of their application, which alerts all your followers that you are live. As soon as you go live, they're sending out notices, and people who are already looking on Instagram are getting that little pop-up that comes up and says so-and-so is live. So there's no substitute for real-time interaction and the ability to reach out and cyber touch your audience. So while we're talking about those short stories, take the opportunity to tell a story with flair live, right? Let them hear and see you in action. Go live once in a while, or better yet, have a regular schedule for going lives to occur, and then every once in a while you can mix it up and do a pop-up live session to shake things up. So if you're doing lives once a week, let's say you're doing lives once a week every Wednesday, or lives once a week every Thursday, then maybe on the weekend pop in, let them see what you're doing on the weekend, show them that you're a real person, talk about some care issues, or talk about what you're doing as a hobby. Maybe you're flying kites, maybe you're doing family type activities. Just do something at the spur of the moment that takes them away of the day-to-day. If you look at the Instagram influencers who are doing really, really well, who start off at probably have more than 100K in followers and on to 1 million followers, they're popping in every once in a while. You're seeing them go live. That's because that's how they're pulling in new people constantly. 80% of audiences will rather watch a live stream than read a blog post. Here's something: 82% of audiences would rather watch a live stream than see a social media post, and 67% of those audiences who watched a live stream bought a ticket to a similar event the very next time it happened. So the trends show lives are here to stay. They need to happen, and they need to be part of your overall game plan to get the word out about your business. Most importantly, pulling all this together from all the different angles, you need to understand your target audience. So check out your Instagram insights. We're going to be doing another program on where those insights are and how you can use those breakdowns. But Instagram insights will help you to understand your statistics. They help you to understand your audience, whether they're male, whether they're female, what the age breakdown is. You check those, you can check specific posts or stories, so you can just look at specific posts or specific stories or specific promotions that you have out there, and to get that better understanding of who your followers actually are, where they live. Again, what gender they are, their age, the times that they're viewing your postings. All of this is information that's going to help you be posting and get the information out to your audience and your followers. And it's key to building a successful Instagram brand and campaign. So let's just talk a little bit about the breakdown of a typical Instagram audience. Your typical Instagram audience is broken down to about 75% of 18 to 24-year-olds, about 57% of 25 to 30-year-olds, 47% of 30 to 49-year-olds, 23% of 50 to 64-year-olds, and only 8% are 65 and older. Instagram is also global, so you need to think about that. It pulls in about 116 million for the United States alone, followed up by India coming in at about 73 million, and then Brazil closing in at around 72 million. So make sure you have a product or service that speaks internationally when it comes to needs, issues, and relevance. Also, it might be good for you to know that 40% of Instagram users have more than just a college education. So a lot of them, 43%, are actually graduates, and even more of those have been divided into higher level of education past, just the BA, BS range. So 42, and also 42% of users are pulling in more than 75K per year. So the audience is there, they have the money to spend. It's up to you to know those numbers, right? And then follow your Instagram insights in order to understand your stats, to understand your audience, and figure out what's the best time to be promoting your product or service to them directly. So use this time, this unplanned time down, to revamp, refurbish, get ready to sing that old Diana Ross song, I'm coming out. You know it. I want the world to know, got to let it show. It's time for you to come out, and it's time for you to boss up. So for more information and getting your game plan together from the ground up, I'm inviting you and anyone else you think can gain from the information that I'm putting out there to the VCRU masterminds group that I have on Facebook. So if you're listening to this, you should already have that information. I'm also putting out a VCRU Academy where I teach people just like you how this piece on Instagram is part of a bigger picture to help build your business, your course, and get it out of your mind and out there so that you can get it monetized. It is time to boss up, people. You're not sure if you're ready? You can sign up on my calendar for a one-on-one discovery call where you and I can chat, find those speed bumps, and I'll share with you how my services can get you there. You're going to hit the link in the comments. Most of all, thank you for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button, hit the bell button, subscribe. You'll be watching all my new videos coming out real soon. And I look forward to seeing you there. Again, this is Leesa. I am your Operations Success Coach, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Ciao now.